This video is a bit of an introduction to your toe spacers, which are one of the tools that we have included inside your goodie bag for the foot and ankle program. Now, why do I like these gel spacers? As if it all boils down to it, it has great effect for minimal effort. So a very, very efficient tool to use to help with the health of your foot. Now, in particular, when I mention the health of your foot, we are talking about the position and the spread of your toes. So ideally, our toes are in a position similar to this. You'll see the toes are straight in line with the metatarsals, and they are nice and springy, and they can be spread nice and easy. Now, what happens, unfortunately, over time with modern footwear that often looks like this with a thin toe box, so you can see the toe box is this part and it comes up to a bit of a point. Instead of being nice and spread and good contact with the floor, what happens to our toes is that they become bunched. Now, quite often this will show up as a hallux valgus or a bunion. It can also show up as bunching and hammer clawing of the outside four toes as well. What that means is that you aren't able to produce force, so push off nicely through your toes when we're walking. Your foot is unable to spread and act as a shock absorber, which is one of the roles our foot plays when we're walking. And the other thing it has an effect on is our balance, because if our toes are more spread, it gives us more of a base of support through our foot, whereas if our toes are all bunched together, we're not getting that nice base of support through the foot, so it affects your balance. So what we want to be able to do is get those toes out to a nice spread position. So that's where our gel spacers come in. So they're super easy to pop on. All you need to do is with the loops here, okay, you're just simply going to loop those over each of your toes. So first, second, third, fourth, and our last toe there like so. Now, what you'll hopefully be able to see here is without me having to do anything, that has now put my toes into that nice spread position that we are looking for. Now, I've practiced this a lot, so it's easy for me to get these on, but for you, it might be difficult to get each of the spaces in between each toe, and that's fine. I'm going to show you some exercises in subsequent videos to help stretch individually between your toes and help with that spread. But what you might also need to do in the early stages of using these gel spacers is just have them between maybe one or two of the toes at a time and help with that spread, and then work up to having all four in at one time. Now, I said before, this is minimal input for a lot of output. Now, what I mean by this is you are simply going to be wearing these spacers for a short amount of time during the day, and will progressively build that up really without you having to do much else than that. So what you'll get to start with is 5 minutes, 3 times a day. And after 3 days of that feeling okay with no negative effects in your feet, you'll then go up to 10 minutes, 3 times a day. Continue that for 3 days, then you'll go up to 15 minutes. You'll continue that pattern until you can build up to half an hour of wearing the toe spacers without any discomfort. And then what we do is we progress on to wearing them day to day. And hopefully by that stage, you've managed to get yourself into some wide toe box shoes. So in contrast to this shoe here, the wide toe box shoes will actually be spaced out a little bit more like this, which will then actually allow your toes to spread in them while you've got the spreaders on. And then we will also progress on to using these toe spreaders while you're doing some other exercises, but I will show you that in subsequent videos. So hopefully that's a nice little explainer video for your toe gel spacers. They're a super effective tool and something that you can start using right now to help the health of your feet.